Hi, my name's Jocelyn. I'm a program lead on the Cloudflare Impact team. I've been at Cloudflare for about 5 years, and really my job is working with nonprofit organizations to provide them with Cloudflare services. And really the way that we do that is with one of our largest projects, which is called Project Galileo. So if you're unfamiliar, we started Project Galileo in 2014, and it was really this idea of providing free cybersecurity tools to organizations that are seeing many different types of attacks because of the work that they're doing. So over the last 11 years of the project, we've been working with about 3,000 different organizations in about 120 countries to provide free Cloudflare services to make sure that they have the tools and cybersecurity products available to keep them online. A lot of times these organizations are just seeing these very common types of cyber attacks against their websites, but they don't have the expertise to really know how to keep their website safe. They're really the ones that work at nonprofits that wear many different hats. So for example, you'll have a member that's managing their organization's website while also managing their volunteers, their CFO for their nonprofit. So for this year's anniversary, we have done a couple of different things. One of them is we've actually expanded our commitment to providing services to organizations with 2 new civil society partners that are based in APAC, so Asia Pacific. We have Engage Media, and we also have the Open Culture Foundation in Taiwan. They're going to be able to help us identify exactly the civil society organizations in Asia Pacific that kind of need our services. And they're really 2 great organizations doing amazing work in the digital rights space. We also have about 10 new case studies from organizations that are protected under Project Galileo. They're telling their stories on how they use Cloudflare and exactly what that looks like for their specific area of expertise. So we have case studies from organizations in civil society, human rights, environmental organizations, and journalism in places like Serbia, the Netherlands, the United States, Moldova. So definitely check out those stories, some amazing work that they're all doing, and we're really happy to kind of showcase exactly how they're using Cloudflare to stay online. And then kind of the biggest part about Project Galileo that we do for the anniversary is that we actually develop a radar dashboard, which provides a lot of insights into the types of attacks that many of these organizations under Project Galileo see on a day-to-day basis. So actually between May 1st and March 31st, 2025, we've actually blocked about 1.8 billion types of cyber threats against organizations protected under Project Galileo. Our data indicates that we're actually seeing this growing trend in DDoS attacks against organizations, becoming more common than we see than attempts to exploit traditional web vulnerabilities. But with Cloudflare, it's really easy to be able to get onboarded and automatically be getting that protection. And we actually saw this with an attack that was against the Belarusian Investigative Center, which is an independent media organization that's based in Belarus, and they actually cover a lot of corruption cases in Belarus and Russia, for example. So they actually saw a DDoS attack on September 27th. And what happened is that attack actually generated over 28 billion requests in a single day. So on that day, they actually reached out to the Project Galileo team, and we quickly onboarded them in this under attack scenario, and we were able to mitigate against this attack once they were onboarded to Cloudflare. Another attack that I want to mention is actually an organization called Tech for Peace. So they're a human rights organization that's focused on digital rights in Iraq and also in the Middle East area. So they were actually targeted by a 12-day long attack on March 10th. And that actually saw about 2.7 billion requests to their website. In previous reports that we've had for the Project Galileo radar dashboard, we've typically seen these attacks that are very high intensity and over a very short period of time. So one example of this is that we saw an attack against one of the largest independent media organizations in Russia called Meduza. So last year we saw an attack. It was over a 7-minute period, and it actually reached 7 million requests per second. So we really try to take this data, improve our products to make sure that the organizations that might not know exactly what types of threats are out there, they can automatically kind of be protected against the worst of the worst that we see here at Cloudflare. So we're really excited to be celebrating the 11th anniversary of Project Galileo.